Hi everyone, welcome to my new review. I've decided this week to actually do a review of reality TV. More specifically, one of the newest shows we've got out in the UK at the moment, called The Valleys. I've decided to review this because I've seen an episode and I felt like I had to share my views. So basically, if you haven't seen it, it's a show about 20-something-year-olds that are from the Valleys in Wales, which is supposed to be a very nice part of Wales, but yeah, that's up for debate. Anyway, so basically they all get moved to Cardiff, which makes it sound like it's a huge deal, but they're not that far apart. They get moved to Cardiff, they all live in a house together, and they have two people in charge of them that are trying to help their dreams come true, whether they want to be rappers or models or fashion stylists, DJs, kind of a range of people. Now, firstly, the characters are super interesting on a social level. Not necessarily in a good way, but you know, you have a girl on there that thinks she's Beyonce. I don't know if she's seen Beyonce or followed her at all, but Beyonce has class, a lot of class. And I'm not saying you don't, I'm just saying Beyonce doesn't do those things that you're doing. Just saying. One girl that thinks she's Beyonce. There's one guy who is the world kickboxing champion and has been like 3 times running. Really impressive. However, I think because of that, he doesn't get as much airtime as everyone else, because I think he might be a bit boring compared to some of the others. I mean, he's a sweet lad, but like, why would you stop kickboxing? Oh yeah, because he wants to bring it to a global scale. That's it, right? So there's him, and then who else have we got? We've got one guy who wants to be a rapper, a Welsh rapper. Yeah, that's right. And basically he talks like this all the time, and he always like moves his hands around like, "Thief, bruv, yeah, I'm from the Valleys, but he's gonna be a sick rapper." And it's really annoying when people do that. I know we all use hand gestures, everyone does it, jazz hands, but this, trigger fingers, no, just don't do it. It's very frustrating, very. Who else we've got? We've got one girl that never seems to have any clothes on. You'll regret that when you have kids and they Google your name. You'll regret that a lot. A couple of other interesting characters. There's one guy who's like the attractive one, and his girlfriend was in the house for a while. Then they both got kicked out, and now he's gone back in, but she hasn't. Which probably isn't a bad thing, but he's not a bad looking guy, you know, he wants to be a model, he could do quite well. However, when they go on nights out, he wears this like cardigan thing. If somebody out there can tell me what it is he's wearing, I don't know, because I would describe it as chain mail in the modern world. It's like, not fabric. Well, it is fabric, but I don't know what kind of fabric, but it's awful. Whoever told you to buy that, they didn't like you, if I'm honest. If you got rid of that, fine, brilliant. That cardigan, awful. Anyway, so basically these kids, they're in Cardiff, going crazy. It blows my mind that any one group of people can be this ridiculous. Like, I've seen some of the other reality shows, and I mean, for a while Geordie Shore was probably the most shocking and the most out there, outrageous. You know, the people of Newcastle weren't that happy, but this takes it to a whole new level. Not in a good way, but kind of in a good way. Kind of makes you feel a bit better about yourself, you know? You know, there's nights every now and again where you have a bit too much to drink, and you do some stuff, and in the morning you're like, oh, why did I do that? Well, that is every single day for them. But, I mean, half the time, they do that whole, like, behind extra interviews where they each do their individual talking bits, and they're just like, oh, so-and-so's really drunk, they're such an embarrassment, which they are. But then the next day they're the ones that are really drunk and embarrassing, and especially the girls, they literally no moral code at all. And I know we live in a generation where, in a society where people can be famous for not being good at anything, but it's like desperate, if I'm going to be honest. They just get wasted in clubs and jump all over people and roll around on the floor, and I mean, everyone's been on the floor in a club, whether you slipped over, whether Run DMC's come on and you've tried to do some sick breakdancing, but either you're too drunk or you can't breakdance. We've all been there. No shame in it. I admit. I've tried. Back in the day when people used to try and do the worm, fail. Everyone's been on a club floor at some point, but not in that way. But yeah, I was just really shocked by the whole thing. In some sense it's brilliant entertainment TV, but in other senses it's a shamble. Good things from it. I learnt a new word, tamping. Tamping means fuming or angry. Love it, especially with the Welsh accent. Great word. Good. They should put that in the dictionary. Big fan of that word. But yeah, so basically that's the show. You should check it out just once, or as many times as you want, really. It has offended a lot of people. I have friends from the valleys, they're not that happy about it, but at the same time it is kind of hysterical to watch, and it's ridiculous to think that I live in the same society as these people. I mean, not in Wales, obviously, because I'm not in Wales, but still, you know, the UK represent. But yeah, so all in all, check it out. Review-wise, I think I was trying to figure out how I'd rate this, because I don't really know what the fair way to rate it is. If I'm rating it for how much I like it, then I'd give it about a 6. But if I'm rating it for how good in terms of the reality series structure, how many boxes it ticks in terms of fights, drinking, relationships, just all those things that people tick off of crazy reality shows, then it pretty much ticks every box. And I'm pretty sure it added a few, actually. Added a few boxes. Boxes I never thought would exist. Like tattooing certain places. While drunk. Girls, that is. Just never thought I'd see that on TV, if I'm honest. Never thought. But I did. And it's scarred into my mind. Never going to get that back. Anyway, but yeah, so in terms of if it ticks all the boxes, then yes, it does, and it's got like a 10 out of 10, but in terms of how I personally rank it, I'd probably only give it about a 6. Anyway, thanks for watching me, and staying to the end. Really appreciate it. If you want to subscribe, you can do that below. Just click subscribe, and I'll be posting another video soon. Have a good day.